Welcome to RTT, the Radiant Throne Themes. Now, RTT is a fellowship based in Nairobi, Kenya, with a vision of equipping people with both spiritual and mental muscles. Now, my name is Esther Maundu, and I'm here to do some bits of mental health. Now, at RTT, we've raised a campaign dubbed Mind Your Mind. And the reason why we are doing it is just to raise awareness about mental health. Remember, at RTT, we are promoting awareness on mental health, and at the same time, we are carrying out programs to restore mental health. Now, mental health is very crucial. And the reason why, as a Christian fellowship, I chose to do some mental bits, to include worship with mental health. It is because there is a lot of reference on mental health in the scriptures. And as we move on with our campaign or with our programs on mental health, you'll be able to understand. Now, at RTT, we believe that man is tridimensional, man is a spirit, man is a soul, and man is a body. That is both men and women. So you have a body, you've got a soul, and you've got a spirit. And that's why, as we address spiritual matters, we also want to touch on the soul, because the mind is just in the soul. So when you are talking about mental health, we are simply talking about the mind. The mind sits in the soul. So in the soul, we have the will, we have the emotions, that's the feelings. Then we also have the mind that is in charge of thinking, memory, and so many other things. So that's why at RTT, we do not want to take one direction. Now that informs the reason why we are picking on mental health and taking it very seriously, because we've got reality with us that out of 4 people that are going to hospital, at least one has a mental challenge. So we are talking of 8 people going to hospital, and then we have 2 people who are faced or who already have or are battling a mental problem. So that's why we thought of it is good for us to equip people with both spiritual and mental health. Now, the other bit that the other reason why we had to go mental, it is because we have witnessed as a Christian family that has plunged people into depression, into suffering, and even to some death. Some people have ended, like we are talking of the Shakahola issue. It is purely, though we are talking of a spiritual bit of it, but then there's a lot of mental, issues that are involved with such kind of cases. And that's why we want to say this, that as you get your spiritual nourishment, as you seek things that are of the spirit, remember that the 3 work together. The spirit works together with the soul, and the body will always respond to the direction of the soul, the direction of the spirit. So whatever affects the soul, whatever affects the spirit, also affects the body. You find that at times you are sick and you go to hospital, and there is nothing you are suffering from according to according to your doctor. But then you realize the problem is not really in the body, but the problem is in your soul. So that's why we cannot neglect the soul. The soul is so many times mentioned in the Bible, in the scriptures, and I love the approach that the scripture takes on mental health. So we are going to bring that one to you, and we are going to learn together, and you will realize that, as the scripture says in the book of Ecclesiastes, that there's nothing new under the sun. Mental health did not start yesterday. It is not a case or an issue of Africans or a specific ethnic group. It is not a problem of the poor. Even the elite, even the rich are going through mental challenges. So it is important for each one of us, regardless of your faith, regardless of your standing and position in the society, it is very important for you to be conscious about your mental health. Mental health is a human right. It is your right to have a mental health. Now, in our country, for instance, Article 43 1A states that every person has the right to the highest attainable standards of health. There's need for us to engage both preventive and curative measures to ensure that the population or our people are healthy. RTT is picking the preventive bit of it, and then it is also addressing the curative bit of it. So at the preventive stages, we are just raising awareness in a very simple, very unique, very relatable yet effective manner, in a manner that you will realize by the time we are done that you are fully in charge of your life, that you are fully in charge of your soul, that you are fully in charge of your body. You are fully in charge. Whatever happens, you are aware. You are not just, things are not just happening to you. You don't know. You find yourself depressed. You find yourself anxious. You find yourself committing suicide, and you are not aware how these things crept in. So we want to equip you in a manner that you are fully aware. You are in charge of your life. So follow this campaign, mind your mind, and please do not keep the information to yourself. Do not be selfish. Your neighbor needs to hear this. Share widely, share to schools, share to all stakeholders. They need to understand that everybody, as God, should have access to mental health. And where does it begin? It begins by creating awareness, being conscious of the fact that you've got a mind, and that mind is the source of all mental issue. We are doing mental health, and this is how we are going to address it. We are addressing it through this campaign. We are visiting schools. We are talking to people in estates. We are engaging small groups of people. We are as well talking to families. If you have any mental concern, any mental issue around your children, around yourself as a parent, or as a church, as a leadership, as a corporate world, wherever you are, you're covered by RTT. We have every expert. We've got every material that you need to just be stable mentally. So make sure you reach out to us. If you're running a school and you feel like you need to incorporate a mental health program in your school, or you need your employees, wherever you are, to understand what mental health is, and also to be productive at work. They need to understand who they are and how they can be productive. You pastor in a church and you want your congregants, your members, to be strong, to even be able to grasp the things of the Spirit in a better way, in a better manner. You want, mental health is not an issue of the heathens, people that are not born again. It is all over in the church. People are committing suicide even in the church, in the mosques, all over. So you cannot talk of the mental issue being an issue of the heathens or the people that are outside the church. Everybody needs to hear this. So in women conferences, in men conferences, everywhere, children gatherings, youth gatherings, they need to be equipped with mental health awareness. They need to understand themselves. They need to understand when they go to school, how are they supposed to, conduct themselves? How can they rule the pressures they go through in life? So those programs, we have them at RTT, and we are calling upon the corporate world, we are calling upon the stakeholders, the government, and everyone that is involved to please team up with RTT. It is so precious. It is so fulfilling to lead people that are mentally stable.